How's it going, guys? It's a Sketch Monkey here with a new video for you, and I want you to have a look at this picture right here. This is the evolution of, up here we have the E-Class evolution, and down here we have the BMW 5 Series evolution. And what I want to point out with this comparison here is the problem that BMW is having with its design language and how that affects the progress of the design compared to Mercedes. So look at Mercedes up here. We have this timeline going this way. Of course, this is the newest E-Class right here. And Mercedes don't really have a lot of design features that they need to have that are so imprinted in their DNA that it needs to be there in every single model that they come out with. We can see that they started with round headlights here, and then it became a vertical type of headlight up here. Let me zoom in so you can see this better. Right here we have round here, round, and then it becomes vertical, and then it becomes horizontal, and horizontal here too between these two generations. And then they start to experiment with the round headlights again with these two models, and then they adjust those models and start to play around with some different shapes, still having two separate lights here. But then these lights kind of merge together to create this shape of that year of E-Class. And today we have this. I think this is a beautiful headlight, and this front in general is just a good looking front. So compare this to BMW, and you can see that they started out with two separate headlights and the kidney grille. Next generation, two separate headlights, kidney grille. Same thing for the E34, separate headlights, kidney grille. And then they got a little bit crazy here. They put a cover above the headlights, but still have the same design features in there as they had back in the E12 from the 1972 to 1981 up here. Still, here we have the basic kind of design, and that continues until today. So the problem that BMW has is that they have these two design features that are so hard-coded in their DNA that they can't play around as much with their design as Mercedes can. Mercedes, the grille have differed throughout the years. The headlights have differed as well. BMW don't have that same opportunity to play around as much with its design. And I've got a lot of questions about the new Mercedes CLS, because it's a step away from what we've seen so far from Mercedes, and it's kind of a jump like the jump that they did from these two generations. It's kind of a significant jump, and some people like it, some people don't. The CLS, I think, is one of those cars that you can definitely see specifically, or more, it becomes more clear that it's a big change when you look at the CLS and compare it to the previous generation CLS. Me personally, I'm not a fan in general of big four-door coupes that these try to be, the CLS, and then you have the BMW 8 Series Grand Coupe, I think it is. I think either you're a coupe or you're a sedan, but I don't really like the CLS that much. I think there can be some changes to it, and it doesn't have to be big changes. So in this redesign, we're not going to do any major changes to the design. Just going to play around a little bit with the front headlights and the rear lights as well. And also, one major thing that I don't like with the rear is the slippery slope that we have. I'm going to call it the slippery slope. I want to change that and kind of define the rear more and have it be more of an end or an edge at the end. So we're going to play around with that and see what we come up with, and we're going to do that right now. Today, this is going to be my first Mercedes redesign, and specifically it's going to be about the Mercedes CLS, and I'm gonna do both the front view up here and the rear view as well. I need some work there. The front view, it's kind of, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's very sleek. I'm not in general a fan of these CLS and the BMW 8 Series Grand Coupe. What else do we have? We have the Audi A7. I'm not a huge fan of those coupes with 4 doors. I think either you decide you are a coupe or you are a sedan. The in-between kind of gets messed up. Same thing with the BMW X4 and the X6 as well. I can't remember the equivalent Mercedes models, but let's see what we can do. So kind of the same thing here is with the BMW new 135i M135. It seems to be, maybe it's a trend right now, I'm not sure, to have these headlights just slope have a very weird or sharp angle down like this to the grill. And to me, that's more of that's always been more of Asian style of car design, to have more of a sloping headlight like that. And European cars and American cars, both of them have more of a horizontal line in the front. So that's kind of what I want to do here. I want to bring this down something like this. It's a very simple change for the front view. I don't have any major issues with the front view here of the CLS. I'm not gonna butcher it too much, but something like this. It doesn't need to be a whole lot of drama with that. And of course, we need to now fill in the back here. So I'm gonna do that just by using the airbrush, of course, as usual. Fill this in, and there are a few more changes that I want to do to this front view to make it look the way I want it to look. If I had the option of changing this and talk to the Mercedes designers and say, hey, this is how I would like it to look, as if they would listen to me. But anyway, we could always dream, right? So what I don't really like about this headlight, except for the angle of it, now we've fixed the angle, so there's one more issue, and it's the design of the headlight itself. And what I want to do here is to redesign it and make it look something like this. Just cut this corner right here. Not have this very sharp corner there. I don't like that. I want to remove that and have it be more structured in its design, if that makes sense. Probably not, but I think you know what I mean. So something like this. And now, obviously, I'm going to go back and fix these section lines between the bumper and the rest of the car. Gotta go in and fix those as well at a later point when we're done with the headlight design. For now, I'm just gonna sketch over them like this. There we go. So now that we cut this, we need to fix it. We need to go in and fix it. We can't just have a cut like this. What we need to do is have this same black outline that we have all around the car, the headlight, the headlight I mean, and just add that to this like this. Very, very simple, to have some sort of continuity around it and to show that this is a separate piece that needs to be assembled inside the body of the car. It's not melting into the side of the car. It needs to have a separation line. That's exactly what we're doing when we do these tiny details. And these tiny details is it's one of these things that I see a lot of people miss when they try to do redesigns, is to think about these kind of things. Because if you don't add these things, it's not going to look like a real car. And there we have it. To me, this looks a lot better than, you know, sometimes all you need is just a tiny little change and boom, all of a sudden it looks more, looks better. Simple as that. But, you know, as I mentioned in the beginning, I really do admire Mercedes for the reason is because they like to experiment with their designs. And as I showed you as well before, they're not stuck in their design language like BMW are. With BMW have too many features in the front that that is part of the brand now, so they can't really play around as much, in my opinion, as Mercedes can. Mercedes doesn't really have a lot of design features that's been around for 50 or 60 years like Mercedes, like BMW have with the kidneys and the angel eyes. So the kidneys and the angel, the two lights that you have on BMW and the kidneys, of course, the grille, those are two, those those are two design features that are so imprinted in the BMW DNA that it's very, very hard for them to adjust and move away from that and move into something new. Mercedes, I'm not really sure what kind of design features they have that are so important that they can't step away from and experiment with them. For them, that's a good thing. That means that they can have fun, and they have an easier time evolving their design, as I showed you in the beginning as well. If you compare it to the BMW evolution over the Mercedes E-Class, as we took as an example, you can see that Mercedes is playing around a lot more with its design, and I think that's always fun to see, especially when bigger car companies do that and don't stick with the same kind of design for decades. So I'm just adding a bit of a chamfer underneath this. As you know, I do like chamfers. Chamfers make... I think sometimes chamfers are the difference between between a quality looking design and a cheaper looking design. It all comes down to chamfers sometimes, and I think the SsangYong rodeos that we did the other day, I think that's a prime example of how you can just add a couple of chamfers to this design, and boom, you have a good looking car. It looks almost like a Mercedes, and it's all about these tiny details. And if you studied car design for a while, you realize that some of them you can just implement really quickly, and you have a completely different looking car. So that's the front view. I'm not going to do anything else with this. We can do the before and after for you so you can see. That's the before. Kind of like Hyundai or not Kia. Kia has pretty horizontal lines too, but more Korean or Japanese styling in my opinion. And then when we do this, to me it becomes more German. Not sure about what you think about it though. That's totally up to you. Everybody has an opinion. That's just how it is. Just now, right now, before we jump into the rear view, I'm just going to fix some of these lines that were messed up by the airbrush. Fix these cut lines right here. Just make a simple line like this. Goes to the wheel arch. And then since the wheel arch has an angle to it, that means that we need to sketch out this angle as well. So something like this should be all right. Connect the two. Boom. That's all we got to do. I'm gonna leave it like that. Or actually, hold on a second. Define this wheel arch and separate it a little bit more, so that we can see that it's actually a different kind of surface there. Alright, so that was the front view, and now we are going into the rear view. And I haven't really thought about this yet. I haven't thought about what it is that makes it... honestly, it looks boring. It's just a boring design, and it's a Mercedes CLS. I prefer the previous generation, the one that's before this. I think that one has a really stylish looking design, with the almost like eyes in the rear with the LEDs. If you Google it, you can see what I mean. I just think this design in general right here is too slippery. That's the word. This design is just too slippery, man. Hold on, let's do it in center like this. This is just sloping too much. I want to get this surface right here. I want to have it something like this. And then we go up here. Does that make sense? We'll see. I'm gonna show you, because explaining is not my strong area. I like to sketch it for you so you can see it better that way. And then let's go in and liquefy this. See what we can do. See if that works, first of all. It's not always that liquefied solves the problem, but sometimes it does. A little bit like this. And as I said before, it's very easy to overdo this liquefy, because it's such a powerful tool that you want to go slow, and then you want to go back before you go any further and just check how it looks. Hold on a second, I think I hear somebody screaming out here. We got some new foster kittens, and of course they need to be fed. And this guy right here. What? What? Are you hungry? She is the only one who's not eating by herself yet, so I gotta feed her, and then we go back to the rear view. Alright, I'm gonna feed you right now. There you go.
Are you full? Are you done? Are you full? Alright, let's go back to redesigning the Mercedes.
Alrighty then, kittens are fed and happy. It's funny how they can go from completely sleeping, passed out, the next minute they're up yelling like, holy crap, I'm hungry, I forgot about that. If you're looking to adopt some kittens and you're in Florida, hit me up and I can get you all set up with 3 new kittens if you want 3, or you can have 1 or 2 or whatever you want. If you're in the Tampa, St. Pete area, I might even deliver the kittens to you. Even if you're in South Florida, I go down there every now and then. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments below or DM me on Instagram and we can figure something out. We're always looking for people to adopt, you know, the kittens once they're ready for adoption. Anyway, let's go back to the Mercedes CLS here. The rear that we did just now, this is the first change. I think this change in itself just make the whole car look a lot better. It doesn't look too slick or too slippery. Like you can slide off this rear, have it like a water slide or something. Now we have some more definition to this rear end. All right, so let's talk about this rear light here and what we can do about that. What I don't like about it is this height, the height of it. I want to keep it slimmer because it's a coupe. I mean, it's a 4-door coupe, so let's just slim out everything that we can about this car, and one of those things is the rear light. So I'm gonna slim that out by just removing the bottom part. So I want to have it go like this. This is going to be the new outline, like that. That's the idea. So just gonna pick the color here, do some airbrushing at the bottom, remove the reverse light. I don't care if it's not functional or whatever. That's not my problem. That's up to the engineers to figure out. So I'm gonna go to the engineers and tell them, yeah, it does look a lot better. And yes, we don't have a reverse light now, but you know what? That's not my problem. That's why you're an engineer and I'm a designer. I'm always gonna choose form before function. So this is your problem. Put a reverse light anywhere you like, but keep the shape like this. And they're probably gonna get mad because they're gonna say it's too expensive or whatever. It's not gonna be able to keep it within the budget or some excuse like that. But not my problem. Just figure it out. Put a reverse light wherever you want, but keep the shape like this, and I'll be happy. So many angry comments is gonna come from that. Another thing I want to cut off here is this part right here. So I'm gonna redesign the interior. Rose is going crazy. It's about to thunder here again. Summertime in Florida, man. It's always going to thunder or rain or be extremely hot. One of those. Pick one and you will definitely pick the correct one during these summer months. So remove this corner here like that. Blend it in with the rest of the body of the car, and then go ahead and erase like this. What we need to do now is do exactly what we did with the front headlight, and that would be to connect all of these lines that we have. And once we're done with this, zoom out and behold the change that we just did. The only thing we got to do now is, of course, to do the same thing on the far side. Very easy, same procedure. Use airbrush, delete whatever you don't need, and define it with the eraser. Go back, pick a fine tip brush, and fill in the section lines that we have right there. So that's about it for this redesign of the Mercedes CLS 2019. Not huge changes in this redesign, but I think sometimes less is more, and I think that's the case with this redesign right here. Don't really need a lot of redesigns when it comes to this part right here, the body of the car. Just some minor details with the headlights and also the rear slipperiness of this. I think the biggest difference that we made was the liquefy thing with this change right here, to just have it not slope this so much on the silhouette right here, just to add some more definition to the rear end. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making it. Hit the like button if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm gonna link all the car makeovers, the playlist up here in the corner. I'm the Sketch Monkey. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy.